Hi students, welcome to our YouTube channel. This session we will take up data interpretation for SSC CGLE, particularly TA1 examination. When you look at SSC CGLE TA1 examination, you'll be getting somewhere around 4 questions, sometimes 2 questions, sometimes 4 questions in your examination. So let us solve actual exam questions that have appeared in the recent exams. Let us take up few questions. Before that, there are two important points here. Questions used in this presentation are actual questions which have appeared in recent SSC CGLE exams. The copyright of these questions belongs to the body which is conducting SSC CGLE exam. Right, students? Let us start with the first set. Now, the table below shows number of students of a college studying arts, science, commerce and business for given 5 years. So 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016. These are 5 different years, and we have 4 different subjects here: arts, science, commerce, business. Now, before we start solving the questions, you should make a note that the data interpretation questions, particularly when you look at SSC CGL exam, are very easy. You can score 4 out of 4 in the examination, provided that you have done some practice, right? And you should be thorough with the basic things which you have discussed in your classes, like maybe your multiplication tables, reciprocal values, squares, cubes, all these things which will complements of 100. These things which we generally teach you, tell you to read, tell you to practice, which will improve your speed as well as your what you call ability to solve the questions, right? So hope you have already studied all the basic fundamentals now. So let us look at this. Before we start any DI set, first you need to read the title. This is the title, right? Table shows number of students of a college studying arts, science, commerce and business for 5 different years. Now, before we start solving the question, just let us look at 1 or 2 important points. Now, if I want to find out total number of students in all the subjects in a particular year, let us say in 2012, I would like to know total number of students in all the 4 subjects together or 4 branches together. Now, what should I do? 2012 total means we need to add this row wise. Add this, we'll get 2012 total. So 48, 553, 101, 133. So 1 is carry forward, 1 plus 1, 2 plus 1, 333. So I have to add, so you know 2-digit addition, right? I am not teaching here. Already we have discussed in speed maths class. There you can actually, in speed maths session, there you can watch 2-digit addition. So 2012, that means in a particular year, if you want sum of all students in all the subjects together, you have to do row wise total. Now all years put together, I want total number of students in a particular subject. Let's say I want total of arts in all years put together. Then you have to add column wise. 92, 2 digits we are adding, 170, 234, 290, 338. Right? So what we do is 92 plus I am adding unit digit here, then I'll add 100, 10 digit here. 92 plus 8, 100 plus 70, 170 plus 4, 174 plus 60, 234 plus 6, this units place, right? 240, this is tens place, plus 50, 290 plus 8, 298 plus 40, 338. I will not say plus 8, 40, all those. 92, 170, 234, 290, 338. So I'll keep if you practice you can do as well, so don't worry. So if I want all students together of a particular subject in all years put together, you have to add column wise. All subjects together in a particular year, you have to add row wise, right? So this is about the given data. Now let us take up the first question, students. What is the percentage increase in number of students of commerce from 2012 to 2016? Right? Now, I'll give you 30 seconds of time. You can try this. What's the formula for percentage increase or percentage decrease? Difference. This is a basic fundamental question, formula, right? Difference by initial value, that is starting value, into 100. Difference is nothing but final value minus initial value. Difference is nothing but final minus initial by initial into 100. So percentage increase or decrease will use the same formula. Okay, try students. We'll discuss. I'll give you 30 seconds of time. Start solving. I'll also start the stopwatch here. Right. Percentage increase in number of students studying commerce from 2012 to 2016. So 2012 the value is 148 and 2016 the value is 168. right? So what's the percentage increase? Percentage increase is difference. Difference is how much here? 20, right? By initial value, starting value, that is 148 into 100, right? So how much is this? See here, you can do it in two ways. Let me explain this to you. Now 4 5s, 4 3s 12, 28 4 7s, 5 by 37. Now friends, if you observe here, options are quite far away, they are not close, right? 11.16, 17.28, 13.51, 15.67. I can happily make an approximation. When will you say options are close? If I have given 11.15, 11.16, 11.17, 11.18, then options are close. They are pretty far away. So I can happily make an approximation. 5 by 37 into 100. This is approximately, if I say 35, 5 by 35 is 1 by 7. 1 by 7 we know it is 14.28 percentage. But instead of 35, what is the value in my denominator? 37. So instead of 35, if your denominator is 37, so your denominator is increasing. When denominator increases, value decreases. So my answer should be less than 14.28%. Less than 14.28%, and these two are close to that, right? So less than 14 and close to 14, I can say 13.51%. This is one way of solving this, right? So 5 by 37, I am writing it as 5 by 35. Instead of 37, it is 35, it is 1 by 7, 14 point, we know standard result, right? 14.28%. But instead of 35, it is 37. So denominator is increasing, so value will decrease. 35 and 37, it is they are close by, so my answer should be slightly less than 14.28. So clearly these two are not my answers. This is 11, this is 13, slightly less than 14 means 13.51 should be my answer. Or some of you can also do like this here, 148 into 100. You can say 20 by 150 into 100, because options are quite far away. I can do all these approximations, right? So 0 0 5 2s 5 3s, so 40 by 3, 13 point something, right? So I'll get 13.3, but actually I'm increasing the denominator, so value will slightly decrease. So only one option with 13 point something. So third option should be my answer. So correct answer is 13.5. Right, students? Question number 2, students. You try this. What is a simple annual growth rate? This is important. Underline this. Simple annual growth rate in the number of students of business from 2012 to 2016. Okay. Try this, then I'll discuss. Simple annual growth rate. Simple annual growth rate. It is given by 1 by n minus 1 into difference by same thing, initial value into 100. Where is this formula we are using for? But if I ask you growth rate is nothing but if it is increasing, I'll find out percentage increase, decreasing, I'll find out percentage decrease. Basically, this is nothing but simple annual growth rate is nothing but percentage increase by n minus 1, where n is nothing but number of years. You should know this formula. N is nothing but number of years. Percent difference by initial value into 100 is growth rate, right? If it is increasing, I will find out percentage increase. If it is decreasing, we will find out percentage decrease. Now, simple annual growth rate. Simple annual growth rate means you have to divide by n minus 1, where n is number of years. Because here, how many years are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 years. But how many growth periods? If you observe here, 12 to 13, 1 growth period, right? 13 to 14, 2 growth periods. 14 to 15, 3 growth periods. 15 to 16, 4 growth periods. So if there are 5 years, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 growth periods. If there are 6 years, I will have 5 growth periods. If there are 10 years, I will have 9 growth periods. If there are n years, we will have n minus 1 growth periods. So here, percentage increase, 32 is 2012, 48 is 2016. So 32, 48, difference is 16 by initial value 32 into 100 into 1 by divided by number of years minus 1. So 5 years, so 4 growth periods. So this goes here, 4 goes 4 times, 4 goes 8 times. 100 by 8 is 12.5. 12.5 is present in choice 2. 12.5. So don't divide by 5. Simple annual growth rate. Growth rate is nothing but if it is increasing, we will find a percentage increase. So percentage increase divided by not number of years. It should be number of years minus 1. Because if there are 5 years, there are 4 growth periods. If there are 6 years, there will be 5 growth periods. If there are 100 years, there will be 99 growth periods. So n years, you should divide by n minus 1. Right, students? Clear all of you? Let's move to the next question then. Question number 3. What is the ratio of average number of students studying arts per year? Okay. And average number of students studying science per year. Now, how will you get average? Average is equal to sum of all quantities divided by total number of quantities. Sum of all quantities by total number of quantities. Right. Try. We will discuss. Right. Now, what is the question here? We need to find out ratio of average of students in arts is to average of students in science. Here, don't find out average, it's time waste. What is average? Total number of students by total number of quantities. So, total of arts, total number of students of arts divided by how many years? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is to total of science divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the ratio, this 5 will get cancelled. Now, here, the ratio of average is nothing but the ratio of their totals. You need not calculate average separately, divided by 5 year, divided by 5 year. Again, simplifying this, it is time waste. So, ratio of average is equal to ratio of total. Right, students? Now, what is total here? 92, 170, 234, 240, 338. Already we have done this, right? 338 is to total of science. Now, two digits we will add. 61, 109, 134, 157, 162. So, 1 carry forward. So, already 5 ones plus 1 more 1, 6. So, 662. Two digits you have to add. So, 2 is a common factor. 2 169 times, 2 331 times. So, 169 is to 331. It is present in choice 1. So, the ratio of total holds good for ratio of average. You need not find out average separately, not required, because same number of years average will get cancelled. You have to be careful when number of years are different. Maybe tomorrow in the exam he will say average number of students of arts per year for the first 4 years and average number of students for science for all the years. Then here science will be by 5, arts will be by 4. Sometimes what happens is he is asking for total number of years, so 5 years I am cancelling. But tomorrow one subject he will ask you for 3 years, other subject he will ask you for 4 years. There average divided by 3 divided by 4 should be there. Average definitely will be dependent on those values. Right here both the subjects I am calculating for same number of years, so it will be nullified. Right, students. Next question on this set, and that is the last question, students, in this particular set. Which year shows maximum percentage increase in total number of students in these 4 subjects over the previous year? Which year is showing maximum percentage increase over the previous year, all the 4 subjects together, right? So how will you get total of all 4 subjects? I have to add this, right? So how much is this? 32, 48, 80, 85, 133. So 1 carry forward, 112 plus 1, 333. Take this total. 30, 36, 66, 89, 145. 1 carry forward, 2 plus 1, 345. Right, so it is 345. Now, add this 36, 44. How much? 80, 105, 169, 1, 2, 369. This total. Then add this 36, 56, 92, 140, 218. 2 carry forward, 2, 3, 4, 1, 8. Then the last one, 48, 68, 116. Then 116 plus 61, 177, 179 plus 90, 269, 23469. These are the totals. Now, this is the total number of students in all 4 subjects in each year: 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015. So 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016. Which year is the percentage increase highest? 333 to 345 percentage increase, difference 12, initial value 333, into 100 common I am not writing, right? So 2014, 345 to 369, difference 24 by 345 into 100. Then 369 to 418, 49 by 369 into 100. 2016, 51 by 418 into 100. Right now, so if you observe here, into 100 common, you can ignore this. Now if I multiply 12, 24, 49, let us say it is 48. If I multiply by 4, this will be 48 by 300 into 4 will be 1200 plus. 24 into 2, it is 48 by 2 times if I do, it will be 690. This is 49 by 369. So almost base is same, 48, 48, 49. When numerator is, sorry, not base, numerator is same, almost 48, 48, 49. When numerator is same, whichever fraction the denominator is lowest, that will be highest. So clearly this is gone, this is gone. So what are the two things that are left out now? 49 by 369, 51 by 418. Now don't simplify and find out where is which percentage, which is more and all those. Just here students, 49, 51, numerator is slightly more, but 369, 418, denominator is very down, what you call very less here in this fraction. So numerator is almost same, so denominator is more less here. So I can say mostly 2015 should be my answer. I can eliminate 2016. This is an observation based question. Without calculating, you can answer the question by observation. Right? Don't waste your time finding out percentages. So 49 by 369, that is 2015 should be the highest. Right? So this completes our first set on table. Our next set, question number 6 to 8, it is also on table, students. So correct answer is 2015. Question number 5 to 8, it is also on table. The table given below, see here for question number 5 to 8, the table given below represents marks obtained by 5 students in 4 different subjects: English, Math, Science, Hindi, by 5 students: student 1, student 2, student 3, student 4, student 5. Each student was given marks out of 100 in each of these subjects. So to maximum marks are 100. Maximum marks are 100. So out of 100, these are the marks scored by these 5 students in these 4 subjects. Okay. Now if I want total of student number 1, right, it is all subjects, 4 subjects, I have to add this. If I want total of all the students in a particular subject, I want total of all 5 students in English, then you have to add column wise. Subject wise total, column wise, student wise total is row wise. Right, students? Right. Let us take up first question, question number 5. Try this. In which subject the total marks of all the students is highest? Which subject the total marks of all the students means I have to add column wise. 1 plus, 2 plus, 3 plus, subject wise total is column wise. English, Math, Science, Hindi. So here I'll give you 30 seconds, try this, then I'll discuss. Again, this is also an observation, no need for you to add and waste your time. Try this, students. Who got highest marks? Don't waste your time finding out total of English, total of mathematics, total of science, total of Hindi. It is waste of time. Just here, whose subject total marks of all the students is highest, right? Let us compare English and Maths. Maths is more, 96, 74, 99. Maths more, 89, 99. Maths more, 62, 89. About 20 difference. Maths more, 95, 92. It is 3 more, but in all the cases it is more. So clearly English ruled out. Now compare Maths and Hindi. 96, 81. This is gone. 99, 89. This is gone. 99, 92 gone. 89, 91. 2 more. 92, 86, it is more. So it is also gone. So almost Hindi is also eliminated when I compare with Maths. So 96, 90, it is 6 more mathematics. 99, 94, 5 more. 99, 99 same. 92, 92 same. 89, 96, 7 more. So 11 more, 7 more together, I can say it is 4 more, 11 minus 7. So I can say mathematics is highest. Choice 2 should be your answer. No need to actually add. The time you have taken to add, I have compared, I have eliminated, right? English and maths, English is clearly less than maths. Similarly, when I take marks obtained in Hindi language are clearly less than mathematics. When you compare maths and science, two subjects are equal. Remaining three subjects, this is 11 more first two subjects. Third subject, it is 7 more. 11 minus 7, still mathematics will be 4 more. So I can say mathematics should be maths. Right? Okay, next question. Question number 6, students. Whose students scored maximum marks in all the 4 subjects together? Okay, in all the 4 subjects together, whose student has scored maximum marks? Student 1, 2, 3, 5. So whose student is not given? 4 student is not given. So let us not compare 4 students. Whose student has got maximum marks in all 4 subjects together? All 4 subjects means we have to add English plus maths plus science plus Hindi. Row wise total we have to do. Now instead of doing these totals, as I told you in the previous question as we discussed, similarly you can try something here also, right? So student 1, student 2, student 3, student 5. Try, students. Try this. Observe these, students. 87, 974, 989, it is more. 96, 99, 99, it is more. 90, 94, 99, it is more. 81, in all 4 subjects, student 3 is more. So by observation, I can say student 1 and 2 are eliminated. So student 3, student 4 are left out, right? So 89, 95, the student is 6 more. 99, 92 is 7 more. Here also 99, 92 is 7 more. 92, 86, it is 6 more. So I can say student 5 is also eliminated. I can say student 3 in all the 4 subjects together, he has scored highest. By comparing, so don't get into actually additions. If you get into additions, adding, then you have to add 4 students, 4 subject marks here. Similarly, in the previous case also you have to add. It will be time consuming. By observation, you can eliminate. That will be actually helpful to you, students, right? So this is question number 6, similar to question number 5. Question number 7, students. A new subject is added in which all the students have scored 100 marks. If total marks are calculated as sum of the marks of highest 4 subjects, then who will be the second in terms of total marks? So, is adding a new subject and all the students have got 100 in that subject. If total marks are calculated as sum of marks of highest 4 subjects, okay, who will get second in terms of total marks? Right, students, start this. We will discuss. Try this. So in that subject, maximum marks are 100 and everybody has got 100 marks. So total marks are calculated as sum of marks of highest 4 subjects. Who got second in terms of total marks? Who got second in terms of total marks? Right, now a new subject is added in which all students have got 100 marks. So I am saying when you are finding out total of highest 4 subjects, so what are the options here? Student 3, student 2, student 5, student 4. I am saying everybody have got 100, 100, 100, 100. So their highest subject, highest one, because nobody has got 100 here in any of those subjects. So 100 is the highest, so that is one subject. So I am saying ignoring that subject because everybody got 100, 100, 100, 100. So ignore that. That is not required. So you take highest 3, the next highest 3. So I have to calculate highest 4 subjects. The first subject, the highest marks is 100 for all the students. So ignore that. Remaining highest 3 we have to take. Student 3, what are the highest 3? 99, 99, 92. 99, 99, 90, how much? 92. Student 2, 99, 94, don't add, don't waste your time, don't add and don't waste your time, 89. Similarly, student 5, 92, 95, 92 and 92, alright. Then student 4, 96, 91, I'm taking highest, next highest 3 subjects, 89. So I have to take total marks as total of highest 4 subjects. 4th subject is 100, 100, 100, 100, highest for everyone, same for everyone, ignore that. Now, who is highest here? Clearly 99 in all. If you observe these 4 students, 99 is highest. Here also student 3 is highest. Here also student 3, 99, 92. So in all the three subjects, student 3 is highest, so is number 1. Now we don't want number 1, we want number 2, second in terms of total marks. Let us compare this. 99, 95 is more, 94, 92 is more, 89, 92 3 more, but here 94, 92 2 more, 99, 95 4 more. So clearly student 5 is I can say eliminated when I compare with this, because I have to find out second person, right? Second highest. 99, 96 he is highest, 94, 91 he is highest, 89, 99 same. So student 4 is also eliminated. So who second position is going to who student? Student number 2. Student number 2 is my choice. Don't need to add. Don't add and waste your time, right? So student 3 clearly highest in all three subjects. So 4 subject is 100, same for everyone. So next 3 highest marks I am taking. Student 3 is highest in all 3 subjects. So he is number 1. Next student 2 is highest in the remaining 3 students. Student 2, 4 and 5. Student 2 is highest in all the 3 subjects. So I can say number 2 position goes to student 2. Right, students. Question number 8. The average marks per student in English is what percentage of average marks per student in Hindi? So average of English by average of Hindi into 100 is a percentage. If I ask you X is what percentage of Y, what will be right? X by Y into 100. The quantity that follows percentage of should be in the denominator. So English is what percentage of Hindi? Average of English by average of Hindi into 100. Here one important point. Average of English is total of English divided by how many students? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. By average of Hindi is total of Hindi divided by 5 students into 100. 5 will get cancelled. So average of Hindi by average of English by average of Hindi into 100 is nothing but total of English by total of Hindi into 100. So the same thing we have done sometime back, right? When you are looking at ratio, it is asking for same number of years, so average ratio is equal to total ratio. Here also it is asking for same number of students, so average by 5, average by 5, 5 will get cancelled. So total of English by total of Hindi into 100. Right? So add this total of English 159, 157, 246, 320, 407. Similarly, you add Hindi 87. I'm adding unit digit 10 digit 177, 269, 358, 439. Right? So total of English 407 by total of Hindi 439 into 100. Find out the percentage. Right? Let me, you try this, then I'll explain. Let me write this. So average is by 5 by 5. So total of English by total of Hindi into 100. So it is coming around 407 by 439 into 100. What's the percentage? By this time you should have calculated 407. I'll do like this by 439 into 100. Now, if it is 439 by 439 into 100, so I can say clearly it is 100%. But it is not 439, it is 407. So how much is less here? 32 is less. Right? So how much is 1%? 1% is in the denominator 4.4. How much is 7%? 30.8. How much is 8%? 35.2. How much we need to reduce? 32. The value is between these two. So I have to reduce somewhere around 7 to 8%. So from 100, 439 by 439 is 100%. If I am reducing 7 to 8%, if I remove 8, 100 minus 8 is 92, 100 minus 7 is 93. My answer should be between 92 and 93. Between 92 and 93, I have only one option here, choice 3. So 92.71 is my correct answer. You got the point? 439 by 439 will be 100%. If it is 439 in the numerator, definitely I would have got 100%. But it is not 439, it is 407. So how much less? 32. So instead of finding out 407 is how much percentage, I am saying it is 32 less than 100%. So 32 is how much? 1% in the denominator is 4.39. Approximately I am saying it as 4.4. 4.39. At 1% means you have to put a point after 2 digits. I am saying 4.4. 7% is 28 plus 2.8, 30.8. 8% means 4.4 into 8, 35.2. We need to reduce 32, that means I need to reduce somewhere between 7 to 8%. If I reduce 8%, 100 minus 8 will be 92, 100 minus 7 will be 93. So my answer should be between these two. There is only one option between those two. That should be my answer. No need to find out exact value, not required. Right? So these are two basic sets which are recently asked in your SSC CGLE exam on table students, right? Now let us take up question number 9 to 12. These are based on your pie charts, right? So here the pie chart given below shows number of shoes of 5 different brands in a multi-brand store. So number of shoes of 5 different brands in a multi-brand store. The total of 1200 shoes. So total are 1200. Right? So how much is 10% of 1200? 120. How much is 1%? You have to put a point after 2 digits. 12. So 1200, 10% is 120, 1% is 12. Puma 21%, Vans 13%, Adidas 25%, Reebok 23%, Nike 18%. Right? Now let us take up the questions. Now you know that pie chart can be given in percentage, pie chart can be given in degrees. If it is given in percentage, if you add, the total must be equal to 100%. If you want, you can check. 21, 18, 39, 42, 52, 55, 60, 80, 100. If it is degrees, the total must be equal to 360 degrees. If it is degrees. So before we start, I'll just give you some basic information. 100% if it is percentage, degrees means it is 360 degrees. So 10% will be 36 degrees. 5% will be half, 18 degrees. 20% will be 72 degrees. Right? Then if I ask you 15%, it will be 54 degrees. 10 plus 5. If I ask you 25%, 20 plus 5, 90. If I ask you 30%, 30% will be 10 into 3 times 108 degrees. Now 10%, 36 degrees. 1% will be how much? 36 by 10. You have to multiply by 18 by 5. Similarly, 1 degree is equal to 10 by 36, 5 by 18. That means percentage you want to convert into degrees, multiply by 18 by 5. Degree you want to convert into percentage, multiply by 5 by 18. This is the basic information. Okay, hope you know all this, right? So I am erasing this. So we know that total is 1200, all shoes together. Out of this 1200, 10% will be 120 and 1% will be 12. Okay. Question number 9 on your screen. How many sheets are there of Reebok brand? Not sheets, shoes. Typo here, typing error here. It should be shoes. How many shoes? Because these are distribution of shoes, right? Of Reebok brand are there. Reebok is 23%. 23% means 23 into 1%. 1% will be 12. 240 plus 36, 276. Choice 2. Correct answer 276. You can do like this. 2%, 20% plus 3%. You can do like this, right? 10% 120, 20% 240. 1% 12, 3% 36, 276. Or 23% will be 23 into 1%. So 1% value we know 12. So 23 into 12 is 276. Right. Question number 10. Difference in number of shoes of Puma and Vans. Difference in number of shoes of Puma and Vans. Puma is how much percent? 21. Vans is how much percent? 13. Difference is 21% minus 13%. Difference is 8%. We know 1% is 12. 8% means 8 into 12, 96. Choice 1 should be my answer. Don't find out Puma 21% value, Vans 13% value, then subtract. It is waste of time. I want difference between these two. 21 minus 13 difference is 8%. 1% 12. 8% should be 96. Question number 11, students. The difference between number of shoes of Reebok and Nike is same as difference between which of the following two brands. Reebok and Nike 23 and 8. The difference here is 5%. Which two brands it should be same means the difference between the options given here should be 5%. Puma and Adidas 21, 25 difference is 4%. No. Reebok and Adidas 23, 25 difference is 2%. No. Vans and Nike 13 and 18. Vans and Nike 5%. Yes. This should be my answer. Third. So difference between Reebok and Nike is same as difference between which two brands. Reebok and Nike it is 5%. So whichever two brands you are having difference as 5%, that should be your answer. Third option. Vans and Nike. Question number 12. Puma shoes are how much percent more than Nike shoes? Puma is how much? 21. Nike is how much? Say 18. Percentage more. What's the formula for percentage more difference? You discuss this in percentages. You can watch our percentages video in our YouTube channel, right? Opposite of more is lesser value. So smaller value into 100. You have discussed in detail, right? So difference is 3, smaller value is 18 into 100. 3 by 18 is 1 by 6, 1 by 6 is 16.66 percentage. Choice 2. Now the point is, don't find out Puma 21% value, Nike how much is the 18% value, then find out percentage more here. You are going to get the same answer. Remember, whenever it is pie chart, if it's a ratio related question or percentage related question, percentage increase, percentage decrease, percentage more, percentage less. I am saying the total value you assume as 100 and so on. When I am assuming total as 100, 21% will be 21, 18% will be 18. So whatever answer you get here, you calculate an actual values, you are going to get the same answer. So I am saying don't waste your time. So Puma 21%, 18%, difference 3 by smaller value 18 into 100. So it should be 16.66 percentage. So this completes our first pie chart. Right? This is a very easy pie chart question which was recently asked in SSC CGL exam. Okay, let us take up the next pie chart. I will give you about 30 seconds of time. Go through this pie chart, students. Go through these pie charts. That this is 2 pie chart questions. Pie chart 1, pie chart 2. We have 2 pie charts and it is given in percentage. I told you if it is given in percentage, add total must be equal to 100 only, right? 28, 44, 62, 83, 90, 100. 23, 45, 54, 64, 100. Right? Total should be 100. Pie chart 1 given below shows segregation of how many here? Units, cents, hundreds, 1000, 10,000, lakhs, and like 4 crores. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 series. Who have filled the form. Filled the form. Pie chart 2 shows 3 crore 50 lakhs. 3 crore 50 lakhs. Who are present for the exam? Present or attended the exam. Segregation in both pie charts is done based on the basis of their highest qualification. So MBA, how many have filled up the form? How many have attended? That is given here. Now, how much is 10%? All right, 40 lakhs. How much is 1%? 4 lakhs. 10% put a point after 1 digit. 1% put a point after 2 digits. So similarly, if I take here, how much is 10%? Right? How much is 1%? 3,50,000. 35 lakhs and 3,50,000. 10% will be 40 lakhs and 4 lakhs. Right? Let us take up the question. Question number 1. 18% of MBBS who have filled the form are from XYZ University. Okay. How many MBBS candidates from XYZ University have filled the form? 18% of MBBS are from XYZ percentage. So MBBS have filled the form. How many are from XYZ University? MBBS is how much percent? 17%, right? So 17 into 1%. 1% value is how much? 4 lakhs. Out of this, how many are from XYZ University? 18%. 18 by 100. 2 zeros will get cancelled. So 18 into 17 into 4,000. Is this clear? What is given? 18% of MBBS who have filled the form are from XYZ universities. So MBBS, how many are filling? 17%. 17 into 1%. 17 into 1% value is 4 lakhs. Out of this, 18% means 18 by 100 are from XYZ university. So 2 zeros will get cancelled. So 4,000, 18 into 17. See, what is 18 into 18? We know 18 square. 18 into 18 is 324. But I want only 17, 18. So remove one 18. So it should be 306. So 306 into 4,000. Anyways, 3 zeros will be my back end. 306 into 4, 1224. Right? 4 into 306, or you can do like this, right? 306, 4 times means double this. 612. 2 times I'll get. 4 times means again double this. 1224. Or 1200, 6 into 4, 24. 1224 followed by 3 zeros. 1224 followed by 3 zeros. Choice 2 should be your answer. So, from MBBS, how many have applied? 17%. 17 into 1%. 17 into 1% value is 4 lakhs. Out of this, XYZ University are 18%. 18 by 100. So, 18 into 17, if you know multiplication table, it directly I'll say 306. If you don't know, see here 18 into 18 is 324. 118 less, so 306. Into 4 is 1224 followed by 3 zeros. Right. Question number 14. What is the absolute difference in BTech's who have filled the form and MBAs who are present in the exam. BTechs who have filled the form. Okay, see here. BTechs. How many BTechs are filling the form here? This is filling form. This is present. Right? BTech is 18%. So 18 into 1%. So how much is 1% value here? We know 10% is 40 lakhs. Right? 1% will be 4 lakh. So 18 into 4 lakh. So obviously 72 lakh. MBA 9%. 9 into 1%. How much is 1% here? We know 1% will be 3,50,000. Already I told you. We have discussed this, right? So 9 into 3,50,000. 4 zeros will be then 270 plus 45, 315. So this is 31.5 lakh. 72 lakh, 31.5 lakh. Difference is how much? 8.5 if I add, it will be 40. 32 plus 8 will be 40.5 lakh. This is the difference. 40.5 lakh. So lakh is 10 power 5. 40.5 into 10 power 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 405, 10 will go for this point, then 4 zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4. 405 followed by 4 zeros, it is choice 3. Right? 18%, 18 into 4 lakh, 72 lakhs. Here 9%, 9 into 1% is 3 lakh 50,000, 1% value. So 31.5 lakhs. Difference will be 40.5 lakh, or it is in third option. Okay, question number 15. 50% of others who fill the form are from BR, and 45% of others who are present in the exam are BR. How many BR candidates did not give the exam? How many absentees we need to find out? How will you get absentees? You need to find out how many are filled the form, how many are present for the exam. The difference between those two will give you how many did not give the exam or absentees. So basically, filling the form minus present for the exam will give me did not give the exam, or I can say absentees. From others category, 50% who have filled the form are from BR, and 45% of others who present in the exam are BR. How many BR did not give the exam? We need to find out how many are what we call absentees. Others is 16%. Right? Out of this 16%, BR is 50%. Half of this is 8%. This is filling the form. So 8% means 8 into 1%. We know 1% value is how much? 4 lakhs. So 8 into 4, this will be 32 lakhs. Right? So here, out of this, 45% are BR. These are BR students. So 14%. First I will calculate 14%. 14 into 1%. So 14 into 1% value is 3,50,000. We know 1% here is 3,50,000, and 1% here will be 4 lakhs. Already we have discussed this. So 8% means 18 to 4, 32 lakhs. Now see here. Out of this, 45%. 45 by 100. Right? So you multiply this, or see here, 45% of 14%. So 45% of 14%, I can write like this: 40% plus 5%. 40% will be 5.6, 10% is 1.4, 5% will be 0.7, so I'll get 6.3%. Right? You can do like this, or 6.3%. This value, 45% of this will be 6.3%. So 6.3 into 3,50,000. Anything should be okay. So this will be 63 into 35 followed by how much? 10 will go for the point, so 3 zeros. 63 into 35. We know 2-digit multiplication, right? So 5 3s are left rightmost digit 15, 1 carry forward. 39 plus 1 40. Leftmost digits 18 plus 4 22. So 2205 000. So 22 lakh 5,000. So if it is 22 lakh, 32 lakh, 22 lakh, difference will be 10 lakh. Right? But it is 5,000 more. I have to subtract another 5,000 from this. I will get 9,95,000. That should be my answer. 9,95,000 is present in choice 1. So 50% of others. So others is how much? 16%. 50% of this BR. Half. 8%. We know 1% will be 4 lakhs. For the first pie chart, 8 into 4, 32 lakhs. Similarly, others is 14%. Out of this B arc is 45%. So I'm saying 40% plus 5%. 10% 1.4, 40% will be 5.6. 1.4 means 10%, 5% will be 0.7. So it will be 6.3%. 6.3%. So 6.3 is 45% of the 6.3%. So 6.3 into 1% value is 3,50,000. So I'm saying simply multiply 63. It is 63 into 3, 5, 1, 2, 3 zeros, because 1 0 I'm removing the point. So 63 into 35. Rightmost digits will multiply 15, 1 carry forward, 30 cross multiplying 9, 39 plus 1 40, 4 carry forward, left more digits, 18 plus 4 22. So it is 22 lakh 5,000. 32 lakhs minus 22 lakh 5,000 is 9 lakh 95,000, right? Or you can also do like this, right? 14, so 2 zeros will get cancelled. So you multiply 45 into 14 into 35, then also you get the same number. Anyways, this is easy. You find out 45% of 14%, 6.3%, 6.3 into 3,50,000. So this is calculation based when compared to your previous set, right? So try this question, students. Question number 16. Which highest qualification accounted for most number of absentees? Maximum absentees. We need to find it. How will you get absentee? Filling the form minus present for the exam. This will give you absentees. I want which qualification accounted for maximum number of absentees. BA, others, become none of this. This is dangerous. When none of this is given, you need to try for all the what you call the qualifications, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have to check for all 6, because there is an option called none of these. Whenever none of this is given, you need to check for all the things. So I want to find out maximum number of absentees, right? Try this question, then we'll discuss. I'll give you 30 seconds. You might ask me, sir, so many calculations for 6 things I have to do. No need to do that way. You can, I'll tell you one important point just here. Four crores. Here, how many actually present for the exam? 3 crore 50 lakhs. Without even putting pen and paper, we can answer this question logically if you observe the pie charts. I want maximum number of absentees. When we look at maximum number of absentees, you should have maximum form filling plus less number of students who are appearing for the exam. We should have maximum form fillings and least number of people appearing for the exam. There, absentees will be more. More number of people should fill the exam, fill the paper, and less number of students should appear for the exam. Now, see here, 8% here, MBA is 9%. Now, when will my absentees increase? Here, what is my base? 4 crores. What is my base? 3 crore 50 lakhs. Here, base has reduced. Now, I have to find out highest percentage in the first pie chart, and if the percentage has dropped, if the percentage is increasing, absentees will be there, but less number of absentees. If I want more number of absentees, highest percentage in first pie chart, from first pie chart to second pie chart, the percentage should drop, right? So then I will have maximum number of absentees, right? So here, if you observe 8 and 9, it is increasing. 16, 14, there is a drop here for others. Others can be my answer. We will see. We take 18 and 19. If percentage from first pie chart to second pie chart is decreasing, first pie chart percentage is more, base is more, value will be more. Second pie chart percentage is dropping, base is also less, percentage is also less, the value will be less. Then I will have maximum number of absentees, right? So become 21, 22 increased. MBBS you see, B also 20, 22 increased. MBBS 17% to 14%. So maximum drop would have happened for MBBS, because highest percentage value should be more here, and there should be a drop in percent. If the percentage is increasing from this pie chart to that pie chart, there will be still absentees, but that absentees will be less. I want maximum number of absentees means percentage from first pie chart to second pie chart should drop. So what is happening here? If I am having maximum percentage, maximum base 4 crores, percentage is coming down here, base is also less, so I'll get lesser value. Then number of absentees will increase. So you need to check only those heads, only those qualifications where there is a drop in percentage, right? So there it will be maximum. There are two cases like that: others and MBBS. In others and MBBS, others is 16 to 14, MBBS is 17 to 14. Clearly, I can say MBBS the drop is more. I can say number of absentees will be more. So answer should be MBBS. None of this, right, students? If you want to calculate also, don't calculate by taking all these, right? Now, if you observe here, what is the ratio, students? Ratio of these. So I can say 6 zeros will get cancelled, 5 8s, 5 7s. 8 is to 7. So you assume total as 800 here, you assume total as 700 here. Then find out the absentees. Now it will be easy, no? 1% will be 8, 8% will be 64, 9% will be 63. How many absentees in MBA? 1. Then 16 8s 128, others 128, 14 7s 98, 30 absentees. Then BTech 18%, 18 8s 144, 19%, 19 7s 133, absentees are 11. Then BCom 21%, BCom. If you want to calculate using values, don't take this such big value. These two are in the ratio of 8 is to 7. I can assume 800 and 700. Then if you project, automatically that gap will be more. So difference varies highest 21%. So how much? 168, 22%, 154, 14. Then you check MBBS, 17%, 17 8s, 136, 14%, 98. This is 38. So clearly I can say it is MBBS. BA 20%, 160, BA 22%, 22 already we have 154, it is 6. Clearly I can say the absentees are more for MBBS. In case if you have doubt, this is how you have to calculate. But highest, the base is more in the first pie chart, base is less in the second pie chart. So percentage should be more. I want more number of absentees means more in first pie chart value should be more, second pie chart value should be less. Then I will have maximum number of absentees. So try to look at only those qualifications where there is a drop in percentage. Low percentage, low base, high percentage, high base. So the drop, remaining all there is an increasing. I am not saying there won't be any absentees, but less. I want maximum absentees means there should be a drop. So others and MBBS there is a drop. Logically I can say MBBS 17 to 14, others is only 16 to 14. Without putting pen on paper I can answer. Still if you want to answer, you can do this also. Right, students, we'll stop here. This we have taken up 2 sets on tables, 2 sets on pie charts. These are your recent SSC CGL exam. So this is slightly calculation based. In tables also you have seen one was easy and one was calculation based. You don't know in your slot which type of DA you will come across. You have to be ready with both the types of DAs, right? Calculation based as well as non-calculation based. Right, students, we stop here. Kindly subscribe to our channel and do watch our videos. Right, students, and thank you very much. Stay home, stay safe, prepare with Times classes. Thank you, students.